Last year, I met a student named David. He told me, Ethan, I've been studying English for 3 years, but I still feel stuck. I learn grammar, I memorize words, but when I speak, my mind goes blank. Have you ever felt the same? You study, you work hard, but your English doesn't grow. It's frustrating. It feels heavy. Sometimes it makes you want to give up. But here's the surprising truth. Change does not happen from big dramatic actions. Real change happens from small daily habits. 1% today, 1% tomorrow. Day by day, your English grows stronger, and so does your confidence. So, let me ask you a big question. Can one small habit, just 1%, really change your English and your life? Stay with me in this lesson, and you will see the answer for yourself. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Fluent English, the podcast. My name is Ethan English, and today I will be your guide, your coach, and your partner. Together, we are not only learning English, we are building a system for fluency, for confidence, and for change. In this lesson, you will not just listen. You will repeat. You will shadow. You will practice out loud with me. And each sentence you say is a step forward. Because fluency is not a gift. It is not magic. Fluency is a skill. And skills grow with practice, step by step, word by word. So take a deep breath, smile, relax your shoulders. Today is not just another English lesson. It is the beginning of your transformation. Before we begin, remember this. Fluency is built in small moments. 1 word today, 2 words tomorrow, a whole sentence next week. And step by step, your English will feel natural. So let's make this lesson real. Speak with me. Shadow my voice. Answer my questions. Don't just listen. Be active. Because every moment you practice, you are not just learning English. You are building your future self, stronger, braver, more confident. Are you ready? Let's begin this journey together. Why change feels hard? When I started learning Spanish, I was excited. I bought a big grammar book. I told myself, this time I will do it. I will become fluent. But after 1 week, the book was still on my desk, unopened. My energy was gone. I thought, maybe languages are not for me. Have you ever felt this? You start strong, but soon you stop. It's not because you are lazy. It's not because you are weak. It's because change is hard, and every learner faces barriers. The barriers are like invisible walls. You don't always see them, but they block your progress. The good news is, when you understand these walls, you can break them. Today, let's look at the 4 biggest barriers: fear of failure, confusion, negative self-talk, and waiting for motivation. The first barrier is fear of failure. Many learners ask themselves, what if I try and I fail? They imagine people laughing. They imagine embarrassment. But here's the truth. Every successful person has failed. The difference is they kept going. Failure is not the end. Failure is the teacher. Think about a baby learning to walk. She falls again and again. But nobody says you're a failure. Falling is part of the process. It's the same with English. Every mistake you make is proof that you are learning. So next time you feel afraid, remember, if you try, you may fail. But if you never try, you fail for sure. The second barrier is confusion. You want to learn, but you don't know where to start. You think, should I learn grammar first? Vocabulary first? Which method is best? You wait for the perfect plan, but perfection never comes. Confusion creates delay. Delay becomes silence. The third barrier is negative self-talk. This one is dangerous. You say, I'm not good at English. I'll never be fluent. I'm too old. These words are heavy. They stop you before you even begin. But words can also be light. If you change your words, you change your future. Instead of saying, I can't, say, I can start small. Instead of, I'm too old, say, it's never too late. The voice inside your head shapes the voice that comes out of your mouth. The final barrier is waiting for motivation. You say, I will start when I feel ready. But here's the secret. Motivation comes after action, not before. When you take the first small step, energy follows. When you speak one sentence, you feel alive. When you practice 1 minute, you want to practice more. Let's practice now. Repeat after me. I am afraid of mistakes. I don't feel ready. I can start today. Action creates motivation. Small steps give me energy. Excellent. These are not just words. They are new beliefs. Intermediate shadowing practice. Now let's try longer sentences. I learn from every mistake I make. Confusion is normal, but I keep moving. Negative thoughts do not control my future. I don't wait for motivation. I create it. Every small step makes me stronger and more confident. Great job! The more you repeat, the more these words become true for you. Now let's practice together. I ask, you answer. What barrier stops you the most? You. Say your answer. How do you feel when you fail? You. Say your answer. What small step can you take today? You. Say your answer. Excellent. Every answer breaks one brick of your barrier. So let's review the 4 barriers. Fear of failure, confusion, negative self-talk, waiting for motivation. These barriers are real, but they are not permanent. Once you see them, you can break them. And when you break them, you are free to grow. Now, let's learn the secret that makes growth possible. The power of small habits and the 1% rule. Have you heard of the 1% rule? It says if you improve by just 1% every day, after 1 year, you will be 37 times better. Not by luck, not by magic, by small daily actions. Think about a glass of water. Drop by drop, it fills. At first, the glass looks empty, but one day it overflows. That is how habits work. I once taught a student named Anna. She felt lost. She said, "Ethan, my English never improves." So I gave her one small task. Listen to a 10-minute podcast while making breakfast every day. At first, she understood almost nothing, but she kept listening. After 3 months, she smiled and said, "I can finally understand full sentences." That's the 1% rule in action. Small steps, big results. Beginner shadowing practice. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. I improve 1% every day. Small actions create big results. Daily habits build my fluency. A little progress is still progress. Step by step, I grow. One drop today fills the glass tomorrow. Good job! These simple sentences remind you that English grows with every small habit. Here's the hidden magic. Small habits don't feel powerful at first. They feel too easy, too small. You think, this can't change my life. But over time, small habits multiply. Imagine two people. One practices English for 10 minutes a day. The other waits for motivation. After 1 week, the difference is small. After 1 month, the first person feels more confident. After 1 year, the gap is huge. One speaks fluently, the other still waits. This is why the 1% rule matters. It's not about doing more. It's about doing something every day. Because daily habits compound like interest in the bank. Small deposits today become big savings tomorrow. Small English habits today become fluency tomorrow. Intermediate shadowing practice. Now let's try longer sentences. I grow stronger every time I practice a little. 10 minutes of English today builds fluency tomorrow. Small habits multiply into big success. I don't wait for the perfect day. I start today. My 1% effort today becomes 37 times stronger in a year. Fluency is not a race. It is a habit. Excellent. These sentences are promises to your future self. Now, let's practice like a real conversation. Do you practice English every day? Yes, I practice. Say your answer. What is your small English habit? My habit is listening, reading, speaking, writing. How do you feel after 1 week of small habits? I feel confident, happy, motivated. How will your English look after 1 year of 1% improvement? After 1 year, I will speak fluently, feel confident. Excellent. Every answer is practice. Every word is a step forward. So let's review. The 1% rule means small actions create big results. Daily habits multiply like interest in the bank. One drop today fills the glass tomorrow. Remember Anna? She started with almost nothing, but 10 minutes a day transformed her English. Your story can be the same. 1 word today. 2 tomorrow. A sentence next week. Step by step, your fluency grows. Now that you understand the power of habits, let's explore the secret that makes habits even stronger: your mindset. When I was a teenager, I believed something dangerous. I thought, I'm not good at languages. My brain just isn't made for English. That is what we call a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset says, I cannot change. I will always stay the same. But one day, a teacher told me something different. He said, your brain grows when you practice. Every mistake is proof that you are learning. That is a growth mindset. A growth mindset says, I can change, I can improve, I can grow. That moment changed my life. I realized the way you think shapes the way you learn. If you believe I can grow, then every practice becomes progress. But if you believe I can't, then every practice feels like failure. So how can we build a growth mindset? There are three powerful tools: affirmations, visualization, and gratitude. Affirmations are positive sentences you tell yourself. For example, I am improving every day. Visualization means imagining success. For example, I see myself speaking English with confidence. Gratitude means focusing on what you already have. For example, I am thankful for today's practice. When you use these three tools daily, your brain changes. Your thoughts become lighter. Your emotions become stronger. And your habits become natural. Mindset is not magic, it is training. You train your brain the same way you train your muscles, by daily repetition. The more you use affirmations, visualization, and gratitude, the more your brain works for you, not against you. Beginner shadowing practice. Repeat after me. I am improving every day. I see myself speaking English with confidence. I am grateful for this practice. My mindset helps me grow. I believe I can change. Good job. These are not just English sentences. They are new beliefs for your life. Intermediate shadowing practice. Now let's try longer sentences. Every mistake I make is proof that I am learning. I use affirmations, visualization, and gratitude every day. My brain grows stronger when I practice consistently. Our growth mindset makes me confident in English and in life. I believe small steps will transform my future. Excellent. Repeat these until they feel natural. Now, let's practice like a real conversation. Do you believe you can improve? Yes, I. What is one affirmation you use? I say. Perfect. Every answer strengthens your mindset. So remember, your mindset is the lens through which you see the world. Choose growth. Choose strength. Choose possibility. Now, let's explore another force that shapes your English: your environment. There is a famous saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. When I first heard this, I thought about my own life. Back then, my friends complained every day. They said, it's too hard. Why even try? And soon, I started to think the same way. My energy dropped. My motivation disappeared. But later, I joined an English community online. Suddenly, I saw learners practicing every day. They encouraged each other. They celebrated progress. They spoke English even when they made mistakes. And something changed in me. I thought, if they can do it, I can too. Their energy became my energy. Their habits became my habits. My environment lifted me higher, and so did my English. That is the power of environment. It shapes your mind, your habits, and your future. So how can you shape your environment for success? First, add positive input. Listen to English music, follow inspiring podcasts, watch shows with subtitles, surround yourself with English. Second, find a community, online or offline, where people share your goals. When you see others learning, you feel stronger too. Third, reduce negativity. Spend less time with complainers. Limit toxic news or endless scrolling. Remember, the language around you becomes the language inside you. If you surround yourself with English, it becomes natural. If you surround yourself with negativity, it becomes heavy. One of my students, Maria, loved music. She listened to English songs every morning while brushing her teeth. At first, she sang with many mistakes. But months later, her pronunciation improved and her confidence grew. Why? Because her environment was full of English. Beginner shadowing practice. Repeat after me. I listen to English music. I watch movies in English. I read English books. I follow English podcasts. I make English part of my life. Good job. These simple actions create a strong environment for learning. Intermediate shadowing practice. Now let's try longer sentences. I enjoy singing English songs every morning. When I watch movies, I use English subtitles to learn. I listen to podcasts while walking outside. Surrounding myself with English helps me think in English. A positive environment makes learning natural and fun. Excellent. These are not only sentences, they are habits you can build. Now let's practice like a real conversation. Do you listen to English music? Yes, I. How does English in your environment make you feel? I feel. Perfect. Your answers show your environment in action. So remember, your environment is your teacher. The language around you becomes the language inside you. Now, let's take one more step, learning the powerful words to describe your growth. Now let's slow down and look at some powerful vocabulary from today's lesson. These words are not just theory. They are tools for your fluency. When you understand them and use them, you will sound more natural and confident. The first word is habit. A habit is something you do regularly, almost without thinking. Example, I brush my teeth every morning. It is my habit. In English learning, I listen to a podcast every day. That is my English habit. The second word is consistency. Consistency means doing something again and again without stopping. Example, I practice English 5 minutes every day. That is consistency. Consistency is more important than perfection. One small action every day is better than one big action once a month. The third word is mindset. Mindset is the way you think. If your mindset is positive, you believe, I can learn, I can grow. Example, I made a mistake, but I will try again. That is a growth mindset. Mindset shapes your future more than grammar or vocabulary. Now, my friend, it's your turn. You listened, you repeated, you shadowed my voice. But fluency does not come only from repeating me. Fluency comes when you speak with your own voice. So here's the challenge. Pause this video, take a deep breath, and speak for yourself. Say one sentence, then another. Don't worry about mistakes. Don't worry about grammar. Every word you speak is progress. Every sentence you say is practice. Are you ready? This is your moment. Speak out loud right now. Let's begin simple. Repeat after me, then add your own details. My small habit is today I will. Tomorrow I will. I feel confident because my environment helps me. Good job. These are short, clear sentences. Now try to connect two ideas. My small habit is listening, and today I will practice for 10 minutes. Tomorrow I will speak one sentence because my environment supports me. Now let's go further. Speak longer, more natural answers. Yesterday I. Today I. Tomorrow I will. I believe my mindset. My transformation begins when. Excellent. Now connect your answers into full sentences. Yesterday, I studied English for 10 minutes, and today I feel confident. Tomorrow, I will practice shadowing again because consistency builds fluency. See? You are already telling a story about your growth. Now here's your mini challenge. Describe your whole day in 5 sentences. I woke up at. I ate. In the afternoon, I. In the evening, I. Before bed, I. Perfect. Every word you speak makes your habit stronger. Now, let me share one last story to inspire you. Before we finish, let me tell you one last story. A learner named Sophia once said to me, Ethan, I'm too busy. I don't have time for English. So I asked her, can you give me just 2 minutes a day? She laughed, but she agreed. Every day, she listened to an English podcast while making tea. 2 minutes. She wrote one short line in her notebook, 2 minutes. She spoke one sentence before bed, 2 minutes. At first she thought, this is nothing, too small. But after 3 months, her notebook was full of English. And she looked at me with a smile and said, I can finally speak with confidence. That is the 1% rule in action. Small habits became big change. So remember this, fluency is not built in one day. Fluency is built step by step, habit by habit. 1 word today, 2 words tomorrow, a whole sentence next week. Step by step, your English becomes stronger. Don't wait for the perfect book. Don't wait for the perfect teacher. Don't even wait for the perfect time. Start with what you have. Start today. Your phone, your voice, 10 minutes of practice. That's enough to change your future. Every mistake you make is proof that you are learning. Every sentence you speak is one step closer to fluency. And every habit you build is one brick in the house of your success. Smile, breathe, keep going. Because every small step today creates the confident English of tomorrow. I'm proud of you today. You listened, you repeated, you spoke with courage. Every word you said is one more step on your journey. And today, you chose to grow. If this lesson helped you, like this video. Subscribe to Fluent English, the podcast. Comment below. My small habit is... Your comment is not just a word. It is a promise to yourself. It is proof that you are ready to grow. So come back tomorrow, because tomorrow is another chance to practice, another chance to shine. See you soon, my friend. Together we will grow, one real sentence at a time.